All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video about the NBA Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder, even the series, won a piece in a victory over the Indiana Pacers. The Oklahoma City Thunder scored 123 to the Pacers 107. We're going to break down the game a little bit. It was mostly a blowout. We'll talk about it though. Some other NBA stuff and some news, some small news. If you like what I've said, like the video. If you have your own opinions, comment it down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. And yeah, let's just hop into this. For once, I think this is actually going to be one of the shorter videos because this game was a blowout. Um, and throughout this series, whether it's three more games, what would it be? Three more games, five more games. Um, I might repeat myself a lot, or I will try not to repeat myself a lot, because it's the battle of two teams. We know these two teams very well if you've been watching most of the postseason or the whole season. And there are some things that are just very candidly obvious that I don't feel need repeating. And that being said, the Oklahoma City Thunder just did what they've been doing all season, to a lot of these, what's it called, undermanned teams, so to speak. And by undermanned, I mean just not having enough. Like guys giving you what they usually give you, but in the NBA Finals, it doesn't cut it. And when you have the better team, when you play better, and when you want it more, you usually win those games, especially at home. And like I said, the Oklahoma City Thunder got the win this game, 123 points to the Pacers 107, behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 34 points. Um, Yeah, 34 points. Let's see here. 8 assists, 4 steals, 1 block. Um, just MVP stuff. Just MVP stuff. Um, he makes it look easy. He really does. And I just found it so fascinating that, and it didn't take me this long to realize this because I watched him all season. He was my MVP pick since like the second month of the season. Um, I've, I I don't think I've ever seen somebody do it as effortlessly as he does. And he did take 12 free throws, which some of those fouls were a little ridiculous. I'd be throwing my hands up too if I were the Pacers. A lot of the Pacers players just throw their hands up and be like, whatever. Um, Especially during this game. But this is the engine to the offense. When Shea has it going, and he makes it look effortless, and he's being a pest on the defensive end. He's passing the ball a little bit. He's doing all these things. It opens up the floor and opens up the moments for Jalen Williams, for Chet Holmgren, who both did not have good games in game one, had much improved games in game two. Still not their best play, but an improvement nonetheless. Now, if they just keep giving these performances, this actually might go 7 games, give or take, 6 or 7. I have it about 5 or 6 now. It's probably worst case scenario for Pacers fans. It goes 5, um, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It goes 5. Yeah, it goes 5. Yeah, doing math in my head. Um, let's see here. Chet Holmgren, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block. Still hasn't gotten that 3 point shot going. He was 1 of 3 from three, 6 of 11 overall from field goal. Um, he only had 1 block on the night, but visually and watching the game, he altered a lot of shots. He deterred a lot of shots. Um, he was the starting center this game. Isaiah Hartenstein, their usual starting center, came off the bench. Um, the Oklahoma City Thunder wanted more offense, more dynamic offense, I should say. Um, and that came with Jalen Williams, the definitive number two for this team. 19 points for him on the night, 1 of 5 from three. He still hasn't gotten that 3 point shot going. And this is not a 3 point shot heavy team, but nonetheless, this team does need to make more threes. Because the Pacers do go on runs, and the Oklahoma City Thunder have already experienced it. Where when this Pacers team goes on runs, you need to be able to combat it, not just with the defense, but you need to get the defensive stop and then come back on the other end and push them offensively as well. Because it was shown last night that the Pacers really don't have a solid defense. They don't have a defensive scheme for this team. They only saw them twice in the regular season. They lost both of those matchups. And the first game they played was the first time they won against this Oklahoma City Thunder team this year, this calendar year. Um, and I don't know how you stop this Oklahoma City Thunder team, especially when they're shooting themselves in the foot and not making threes. And what's this biggest? Let me see, biggest lead. Let me go look for the biggest lead. Hold on. Biggest lead was 23 for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and only 3 for the Pacers. So if you're gonna get outscored, and the largest lead is gonna be 23, there is a problem. Now, if you could say to yourself, all we need to do is stop everybody else, and we just let Shea do his thing, and let him get 40, let him get 50, and we can just keep pushing him to just get in that mode, which he is very good at being in that mode and scoring. But over the course of the next 3 games, if you can really push him and you can lock out everybody else, you might be able to get back to Oklahoma, not just for a game 6 or yeah, it would be game yeah, not just for it would be a game 5, pardon me. Not just for a game 5, but for a game 7. I think you do that. That's just my unprofessional opinion and non-coaching experience opinion. For everybody else on this Oklahoma City Thunder team, 3 points for Lou Zhang Dort, 4 points for Kason Wallace, who was entered into the starting lineup for Isaiah Hartenstein. Didn't really give you much. Um, the guys who did give you a lot off the bench was Alex Caruso, 20 points, a little 20 bomb. Um, no defensive stats on the night, but was a menace on defense. Just watching the game, he's been. I said it when I was previewing the series. I was like, I don't think I said in my first video about game 1 was Tyrese Halliburton is going from being guarded by like Mikal Bridges and like OG Anunoby sometimes in the Knicks series. He's getting guarded by Alex Caruso, Lou Zhang Dort, and like a bunch of these long, rangy, not known defenders, but guys who can stay in front of you a bit better than OG and Mikal. And the NBA is just about switches now. You're trying to look for a switch. You're always trying to look for a switch, trying to look for the chink in the armor, right? The weak link in the chain. And Oklahoma does not have any of those. Maybe one. Maybe one on any given lineup they run out there. Not just like, oh, there's one in the starting lab, there's one in the bench lineup. No, just overall, whatever lineup they run, maybe there's one person that doesn't defend well. Maybe. And Askerser did a hell of a job on Tyrese Halliburton this game. Um, Also, big scoring night for Aaron Wiggins, 18 points. What is this? 1 steal, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 5 of 8 from 3, 6 of 11. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts at some point in this series. Because not that the Oklahoma City Thunder are looking for offense, they're just looking to always shake it up for this Pacers team and keep them on their toes. Because as much as much praise as I put on Rick Carlisle, the Pacers coach this year, if you just don't have the pieces, you just don't have the pieces, and you can't compete. You just can't compete. Um, I think that's it for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I do want to talk about a stat I saw. This is by I saw this on Instagram. It was posted by the NBA. I thought it was a really interesting stat. Um, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander joins, let's see, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, Nikola Jokic, and Kevin Durant most points by most points ever by a player in their first 2 career finals games. So Shea this year has 72. the leader, obviously. Allen Iverson in 2001 had 71. Michael Jordan in 1991 had 69. Nikola Jokic in 2023 had 68. And Kevin Durant in 2012 had 68. Again, these are the most points scored in their first two finals games ever. So combined two games um, over the course of the series. That's pretty crazy. He beat Allen Iverson out by one. Um, Crazy stuff, man. I think I said this as well when I was previewing this series um, was this team, this Oklahoma City Thunder team, almost by every metric, is one of the best teams ever assembled. And now I will say something. Do I think they're the best team ever assembled? No, I don't. Maybe it might be my bias because they're a bit young. They're a bit um they're a bit like it just doesn't feel right to call them the best team ever, even though they've all been drafted together. Most of them been drafted together. They've been traded for when they're very young. They weren't the players they are now. In Shea's case, it's just crazy to think this team is so young and they they're one of the best teams ever. And it's credit to, I guess, Coach Mark Dagnall, who keeps them professional, who always wants them to be on um, almost said on topic, like just locked in that matter, but also not get too ahead of themselves and be in the moment, which I think is very hard for a young team. I think that was the worry about this team coming into this playoff run was, are they too inexperienced? Are they too do they care enough? And I think they've shown they care enough. To come out and answer like this against a Pacers team who beat the brakes off of you in the last 2 minutes of a game in game one um, is a good sign for Oklahoma. Talk about the Pacers a little bit here. Um, they played okay. And again, I will say this they played okay. Okay is not good enough in the NBA Finals. It is not good enough. It doesn't cut it. You can play just okay like in February, right? Cool. You can play okay in like March. Okay, fine, whatever, right? You can't just play okay in the finals. You need to bring your best. This was not the Pacers' best game. They didn't have the best game in game one, but they snuck out with the win. And these are the games where you think, oh, they could come back, and they don't come back because the Thunder just kept pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And the Pacers sort of, I think they waved the white flag with like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was about the same lead they had in the final box score the Oklahoma City Thunder had, but they just didn't bring their best. I mean, everybody in the starting lineup was in double digits. Pascal Siakam 15 points, Aaron Nesmith 14, Miles Turner 16, Andrew Nemhard 11, Tyrese Halliburton 17. It just wasn't enough. And let's see, Tyrese and Nemhard and Pascal were the only ones who played 30 minutes. Um, you just need to do better. I hate saying that because it's such like a stupid thing to say, and I say it somewhat frequently, but I would just ask for better. Like this is not your best. You're going home to Indiana. Let's say you win the next two, right? Which I don't know if they can. Let's be honest. They might split it again. Say you win the next two. You're gonna need to go into Oklahoma, and you can't play like this again. You absolutely cannot play like this again. Well, let me say this. Let me just say this in general. You can't play like this again and not expect to go home in like five. You play like this for the rest of the series. Same thing I said about Chet and Jalen Williams. Like you play just okay, you're gonna go home. It's gonna be a tough series for you. Let's see. Off the bench, Benedict Mathen 14 points. There was a lot of garbage time in there for him. A meaningless 14. And TJ McConnell 11. Also some garbage minutes. Had some good plays through the course of like the third quarter, but at that point it's really started getting away, and you couldn't really do anything. Or TJ McConnell couldn't really do anything about it. Now that that's done, let's talk about something a bit more fun. Let's talk about something a bit more fun. Um, something a bit something that's been grinding my gears. I think it's grinding everybody's gears. Um, I talked about in my first video that the NBA Finals did not have the Larry O'Brien Trophy or NBA Finals anywhere on the court, and it was a big point for a lot of NBA fans that like the NBA Finals and all of the NBA essentially has become commercialized. That there's no more pageantry to the game. It's just about money, 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 right? And the NBA heard those people, heard me, and Adam Silver, I guess, made the call, and they're like, he was like, "Yo, we need the Larry O'Brien on the court, right?" Now, I will say, I was not one of those people that expected it to be on the court because I don't know how long it takes to make a court or even like one of these sections for a court because I know they come in parts, they come in tiles, so to speak. Um, I didn't expect them to get a whole new thing in like a day, right? Literally, there was a 1 day game break in between. I did not expect um, there to be a um, a Larry O'Brien actually on the floor. But what they did was so so freaking, or at least like a sticker or something, right? Like, and the stickers couldn't actually be on the floor, but it could be on the baseline, it could be on the sideline. Like it didn't actually have to be on the court, right? If you were going to do a sticker, because the sticker could cause slipping, could be a hazard, right? But what they did was, as you can see on the picture in front of you, on the one you're looking at right now, there is no Larry O'Brien trophy on the floor. There is no NBA Finals on the floor. That's because they superimposed it. They put a little, what's it called? A little, yeah, superimposed it. They like placed it on the court digitally, um, like they do with a lot of their sponsors now. Um, and it looked terrible. I saw some funny jokes. It was like Lario.jpg, Lario.png. I called it the Terrio Tryon trophy because they were just trying to put it on the floor. Um, what else is there? I just saw some funny stuff, and then oh, I saw a great meme. Um, that and then that was in the first quarter, right? Literally the first quarter, and then the second quarter they changed it. I don't know. We don't know if it was on purpose, if they were just switching it quarter by quarter, if they saw the meet, if they saw people making fun of it on Twitter and Instagram and Reddit and stuff, and they changed it on the fly. But it went from the Larry O'Brien Trophy um, to it said NBA Finals in big like the script letters, right, like they normally do, and it said presented by YouTube TV on the bottom, because it's the sponsor. Um, and people were like, "What happened to it? Where is it? Why did you get rid of it? The Larry O'Brien. Why did you change it?" And I saw this funny this tweet. I'm gonna read it right here. This is from Harrison Fagan on Twitter at HM Fagan. Um, and it's a picture of Adam Silver on the phone, NBA commissioner, right? And it says, and I quote, "Yeah, cancel the court graphic. They're just getting madder now. I don't know. Just put the YouTube logo or something on something. Figure it out." End quote. And I just thought that it was so freaking funny. Because like, if you're gonna do it, don't half-ass it, right? Like, I get the attempt to try to do it, right? I get the attempt. Like you want to appease the fans, you try to do it, and in the process of trying to do it, you get made fun of even more. like the NBA can't win. Like the thing is, like, if you're gonna do it right. Do it the way people remember it, or update it a little bit, Like like I can't I'm not defending it, but it's just so funny that like they were like, "Oh, I know it would make them happy. Just superimpose it. Just put it on there digitally." And I saw them put it on their I literally saw it like in the first 2 minutes, and I saw it flicker like 5 times. I was like, "Is that fake? Did my eyes just play tricks on me?" Because I did my glasses on. I was like, "Oh, maybe it was my eyes." And I kept watching it, and as players would like run over it or run past it, it would flicker, and I was like, "Oh no, it's superimposed." And then I went on Instagram, I went on Twitter, I went on Reddit, and other people were talking about. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not crazy. That thing's superimposed on the floor." Um, but yeah, I just thought that was funny. The NBA just can't win. They can't win, man. And some other bit of news that I saw today. We'll do a little wrap up here at the end. The Celtics, champions last year, who are starting to have to make some hard decisions this offseason. Um, it was reported that they are at least looking for one first round pick for their defensive piece in Drew Holiday, two-time NBA champion. Um, and I just thought I knew we all knew this was coming. We all knew they would have to sell off pieces. They couldn't keep this core together, especially going into next year where Jason Tatum is going to be out. You're going to have to maneuver. You might take an off year. You might not want to spend the amount of money you spent this year just to not make the finals. Because I do not trust Jalen Brown. I don't think anybody trusts Jalen Brown to carry a team for a whole season and make it back to the conference finals, let alone the finals. Um, you are going to have to sell off some pieces. You are going to have to make some things different about this team. And to seek a first round pick for Drew Holiday isn't unrealistic. I think that's the most realistic expectation you could have was, hey, we'll take a first round pick and maybe they take a bad contract on, right? For 1 year, it's an expiring, right? Maybe you could even get rid of it at the trade deadline next year. Um, I just thought that was interesting that we had heard about it and now it's sort of, I expect the Celtics to be very active after the finals, getting into the draft, after the draft, and then so on and so forth. But I I I don't know where Drew Holiday could go. I saw a lot of talk about Timberwolves. I saw some talk about the Magic. I think the Timberwolves would be great for Drew Holiday. I think he would make a spectacular Michael Conley replacement at that point guard spot, and he'd be a great guy to put around Anthony Edwards just as a mentor, just as somebody who Ant can learn from. And yeah, just wanted to add that here at the end. And yeah, we will have a 2 day break. Next game is in Indiana on Wednesday, so I will try to make a video for tomorrow. Probably won't get a video on Wednesday. Probably you definitely will get one on Thursday. And yeah, that's the rest of the week. There'll be some WNBA talk for sure. It was a pretty, I guess, entertaining game this weekend, so we'll talk about that. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We kept it short, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.